Have you ever felt that life keeps circling back to the same lessons, no matter how far you run? The faces may change, the places may shift, yet the emotions, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the unexpected moments of grace return again and again, as if the universe is whispering, "Pay attention." We often mistake these moments for coincidence, for luck or loss, but nothing in this life happens by chance. Every encounter, every delay, every closed door carries a message, not of punishment, but of purpose. The truth is, many of us spend years fighting what we don't understand. We chase control, question fate, and struggle to make sense of pain, not realizing that behind every twist of destiny lies a quiet design, the invisible hand of karma, patiently shaping our awakening. When you stop resisting, when you begin to see the patterns repeating through people and events, you'll realize life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. So if you've ever wondered why certain people cross your path, why some losses cut so deeply only to reveal unexpected wisdom later, or why peace seems to appear only after surrender, stay here. Because today, we're going to uncover what Buddhist philosophy has whispered for centuries, that karma is not a judge, but a teacher. It's not here to punish you, but to awaken you. In this journey together, you'll see how every joy and sorrow is guiding you toward awareness and freedom, if only you learn to listen. 1. Nothing happens by chance. Every event carries a purpose of awakening. Have you ever noticed how certain moments seem to arrive with perfect, almost mysterious timing? The job you didn't get, the friendship that faded, the stranger whose words shifted your entire perspective. At first, they feel random threads woven by accident. Yet when you look closer, you see a hidden rhythm, a quiet order moving beneath the surface of your life. Buddhism calls this interdependent origination. Nothing arises alone, and nothing appears without cause. Every event is connected to everything else, like ripples born from a single drop of rain. Most of us spend years wrestling with the idea of why. Why did this happen? Why me? Why now? We assume that life should be linear, predictable, fair, in the way our minds define fairness. But the universe isn't built on fairness, it's built on balance. Karma is not a scorekeeper tallying reward and punishment. It is the natural unfolding of causes and conditions that gently mirror our inner state. What we call coincidence is often consciousness revealing itself through timing. When you begin to see life this way, even your pain starts to shimmer with meaning. That heartbreak that broke you open, it wasn't an ending, it was an awakening. That failure that left you humbled, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every loss, every detour, every unexpected twist is the universe inviting you to grow beyond who you were yesterday. Imagine your life as a vast tapestry. You can only see a few threads at a time, tangled and uncertain, but the weaver sees the full design. From your limited view, the darker threads seem senseless, yet they give depth to the brighter ones. Without contrast, there is no image, only chaos. In the same way, every difficulty you've endured adds dimension to your spirit, shaping compassion, patience, and strength. The practice, then, is not to demand control, but to cultivate trust. Trust that even when you don't understand the lesson is still unfolding. When you let go of the idea that life owes you comfort, you open to the deeper truth that life offers you consciousness instead. Awareness is the gift hidden inside uncertainty. Try this. When something unexpected happens, pause before reacting. Breathe. Ask yourself, What is life trying to show me through this? That single question transforms confusion into clarity. It shifts you from victimhood to wisdom. Suddenly, every challenge becomes sacred ground, every encounter a doorway to awakening. Nothing in your path is meaningless, not the joy that lifts you, nor the sorrow that breaks you. Each experience carries the potential to reveal another layer of your truth. The universe does not waste a single moment. Everything is a message. Everything is movement toward remembering who you really are. So the next time you feel lost or broken, remember this: you are not being punished, you are being prepared. Life is not random, it is responsive. And the moment you begin to see purpose within the chaos begins to calm. 2. Karma is a teacher, not a judge. Most people hear the word karma and immediately think of judgment, a cosmic scoreboard, keeping track of good and bad deeds. But that's a misunderstanding born from fear, not wisdom. In Buddhism, karma is not punishment. It is education. It is the law of natural reflection, showing you the lessons you are ready to learn. Think of karma as the universe's way of whispering, "Look again." Every situation that repeats, every emotion that returns, every person who triggers the same reaction in you, these are not curses. They are classrooms. Each experience arrives to help you see what still lives unhealed within you. When you hurt someone in anger and later feel the sting of being misunderstood, that's karma revealing the shared thread of suffering. When you give with sincerity and receive unexpected kindness, in return that too is karma, showing the echo of compassion. It is not retribution, but resonance. Karma moves like water. It doesn't strike, it flows. It finds the cracks in your awareness and fills them until you finally see that every action, word, and thought shapes your inner world. The Buddha never said, "Be good, or you'll be punished." He said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." Karma simply mirrors that truth back to you again and again until understanding dawns. If you look closely, karma always speaks with love. It is patient. It will repeat the same lesson as many times as it takes for your heart to open. It doesn't scold. It invites. Its goal is not to make you afraid, but awake. When you meet a painful circumstance, instead of asking, "What did I do to deserve this?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That question transforms karma from a sentence into a guide. You stop seeing life as something happening to you and begin to see it as something happening for you. This shift brings profound freedom. You no longer carry guilt like a weight, fearing that you are being punished for old mistakes. You start to see how those mistakes were stepping stones, essential parts of your awakening. Karma doesn't chain you to your past. It hands you the key to change it. Each act of mindfulness plants a new seed. Each moment of kindness rewrites your story. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you choose patience over pride, compassion over judgment, you soften the karmic winds around you. Slowly, the storm quiets. Slowly, the lessons turn into light. So do not fear karma. Study it. Welcome it as your most honest companion. It remembers what you've forgotten, the path back to balance. When you treat karma as a teacher, not a judge, you begin to walk with grace through both joy and sorrow. You stop fighting your destiny and start learning from it. And in that understanding, the wheel of suffering begins to slow, revealing not punishment, but profound peace. 3. Loss is transformation. There comes a moment in every life when something we love slips away, a person, a dream, a familiar rhythm, that once felt certain. In that silence after loss, the mind rushes to fill the void. Why did this happen? How do I get it back? But Buddhism reminds us that clinging to what's gone is like holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the faster it escapes. Loss is not life's cruelty, it is life's classroom. It arrives not to punish you, but to strip away what you have outgrown, revealing the self that waits beneath attachment. Everything in nature demonstrates this truth. The tree must release its leaves before it can bloom again. The tide must retreat before it returns full and strong. Death and rebirth are not opposites. They are the same breath inhaled and exhaled by the universe. When we lose, we resist. We tell ourselves something has been taken, yet in the deeper rhythm of karma, nothing is stolen, only exchanged. What leaves creates space for what's ready to arrive. The friendship that faded teaches self-trust. The opportunity that slipped away creates room for alignment. Even grief itself, when met with awareness, softens into grace. To transform through loss, you must first allow yourself to feel. Do not rush to heal or rationalize. Sit inside the emptiness and listen. Underneath the ache, a quiet voice begins to speak, the same voice that whispers in meditation, "Everything changes." And that is how you grow. The more you accept impermanence, the less power fear has over you. Practice this when you face loss. Place your hand over your heart and breathe slowly. With every inhale, say to yourself, "I allow what was." With every exhale, "I welcome what will be." This simple ritual trains the heart to loosen its grip on the past and trust the unfolding of the present. Remember, transformation rarely feels gentle while it's happening. The caterpillar dissolves completely before becoming the butterfly. The seed breaks before it sprouts. So when life breaks you open, don't rush to close the wound. That space is where light enters. Loss is the universe's way of sculpting you into something wider, wiser, and freer. When you stop asking to have the old restored and start asking to be restored through the loss, suffering becomes awakening. So, the next time something precious falls away, whisper to yourself, "This too is part of the path." You haven't been abandoned, you've been invited. And in the quiet that follows what ended, a new beginning is already stirring, waiting for your awareness to meet it. Loss is not the end of your story, it's the turning of the page. And when you learn to read it with open eyes, you'll see that every ending in this world is only transformation in disguise. 4. Emotions are the seeds of reality. Every thought, every feeling you hold is like a seed you plant in the garden of your life. What you nurture within eventually blossoms without. Buddhism teaches that the outer world is not separate from your inner state, it is a reflection of it. When anger, fear, or jealousy take root in the mind, they color the way you see everything. But when love, patience, and compassion become your ground, the entire world softens in response. Most of us were never taught how to sit with emotion. We were taught to fix it, fight it, or flee from it. Yet emotions are not enemies, they are messengers. Each one carries information from the depths of your consciousness. Anger says, "A boundary has been crossed." Sadness whispers, "Something meaningful has ended." Fear calls out, "You're standing at the edge of growth." When you listen instead of resist, emotion becomes transformation instead of turmoil. Imagine your mind as a still lake. When emotions surge, the surface ripples and distorts what you see. But if you simply breathe and wait, the water clears on its own. You don't have to suppress the waves. You only need to stop stirring them. This is the heart of mindfulness: to observe without judgment, to feel without drowning. Each morning, when emotion rises, frustration, anxiety, longing, pause and notice it. Don't label it good or bad. Ask softly, what seed am I watering right now? Because whatever you dwell on, you grow. A single moment of resentment, repeated, becomes a habit. A single breath of compassion, repeated, becomes peace. The universe listens not to your words, but to your vibration. And your vibration is shaped by the emotions you choose to sustain. In Buddhism, emotion is not meant to be denied, but purified through awareness. When you meet anger with mindfulness, it transforms into clarity. When you hold fear with gentleness, it becomes courage. When you embrace sadness without resistance, it opens the heart to wisdom. In that way, emotions are not obstacles to awakening, they are gateways to it. So, when you feel overwhelmed, do not ask, how do I get rid of this? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Every emotion is a teacher in disguise. Pain shows you where you've forgotten your own strength. Joy shows you where you are in harmony with truth. Both are sacred, both belong. Remember, what you feel, you create. The energy you carry becomes the energy you attract. If you wish to live in a world of peace, begin by tending to the garden of your own heart. Water it with understanding. Let sunlight reach even the darker corners. Because in the end, emotions are not meant to control you, they're meant to awaken you. When you allow them to flow, to rise and fall like waves upon the shore, you stop being tossed by the sea and become the ocean itself, vast, aware, and free. 5. Forgiveness is the way to end the cycle. Forgiveness is one of the highest forms of liberation, not because it changes the past, but because it frees you from carrying it. In Buddhism, resentment is seen as a subtle chain of karma. Every time you replay a wound, every time you cling to anger or regret, you keep that energy alive. You may believe you're punishing the one who hurt you, but in truth, you're the one drinking the poison. Forgiveness is how you set the cup down. Most people misunderstand forgiveness. They think it means approval, that to forgive is to say what happened was okay. But forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about reclaiming your peace. It's the act of saying, I no longer allow this pain to define me. You release not because they deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Buddhism teaches that every being acts from their level of consciousness. Those who hurt others are themselves lost in ignorance and suffering. When you look at them through the lens of compassion, you begin to see that pain only ever creates more pain. The only way to stop the cycle is to refuse to return what was given. This is the wisdom of non-retaliation, the courage to meet harm with understanding instead of hate. Forgiveness doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds like dawn, slowly replacing the darkness with light. Some days, you'll still feel anger. Some days, you'll still remember. That's okay. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's remembering without reopening the wound. It's choosing to breathe peace where once there was bitterness. Try this gentle practice. Close your eyes. Bring to mind someone, or even yourself, whom you struggle to forgive. Picture them as a small child, still learning, still afraid. Whisper quietly, may you be free from suffering. May I be free from suffering. You don't have to force belief. Just offer the intention. Over time, the energy shifts. The walls within you begin to crumble, and light enters where pain once lived. And yes, You must include yourself in this compassion. Self-forgiveness is the root from which all other forgiveness grows. You cannot release others if you still hold yourself hostage to guilt. The Buddha reminded his followers, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. When you forgive yourself, you teach the heart that it is safe to open again. Karma will continue its cycles until forgiveness intervenes. Without forgiveness, you carry the same lessons through lifetime after lifetime, the same anger, the same pain, the same story. But the moment you choose compassion, the wheel begins to slow. The moment you release, the pattern dissolves. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the final act of courage that breaks the loop of suffering. It's saying to life, I choose peace over pain, understanding over vengeance, release over reaction. And when you do, the past no longer owns you, it transforms into your teacher. You step out of the cycle, not as a victim, but as one who has awakened. 6. Healing yourself is healing your ancestors and the world. When you begin to heal, it may feel as though you're mending only your own heart, but Buddhism reminds us that the self is never separate. You are the continuation of countless lives, parents, grandparents, teachers, friends, and those whose names you'll never know. Their joys, fears, and unfinished lessons flow through you like rivers joining the same sea. So when you bring light to your own wounds, that light ripples backward and forward through time. We often inherit more than blood. We inherit patterns, the silent beliefs, the unspoken griefs, the ways of coping that once kept our ancestors safe but now keep us small. Perhaps you grew up believing that love must be earned, that emotions must be hidden, that strength means silence. These are not personal flaws. They are echoes of pain passed from generation to generation. Healing begins the moment you choose awareness over repetition. Each breath of mindfulness interrupts an ancient story. When you choose patience instead of anger, you rewrite a lineage of reaction. When you practice compassion instead of judgment, you dissolve centuries of fear. When you speak kindly to yourself, you honor all those who never learned how. The Buddha taught that all beings are inter-being, woven together by cause and effect. To free yourself from suffering is to loosen a knot in the fabric of the world. Try this. Sit quietly, place your hand over your heart, and imagine those who came before you standing behind you, not as burdens, but as witnesses. Whisper, "May you be at peace. May I carry your strength, not your pain." Feel how the energy softens, the walls between past and present blur. In that stillness, your breath becomes the bridge between generations. Healing yourself does not mean denying what was broken. It means meeting it with understanding. Every tear you allow to fall is one your ancestors never had the chance to shed. Every smile born from forgiveness releases the weight they could not lift. In this way, your practice becomes a sacred offering, a prayer lived, not spoken. And your healing doesn't stop with the past. The compassion you cultivate flows outward to your family, your community, even to strangers who feel your calm without knowing why. Peace is contagious. Just as suffering spreads through fear, healing spreads through presence. One mindful soul can shift the energy of an entire room. One peaceful heart can remind many others of their own wholeness. So never underestimate the quiet revolution of your healing. When you learn to be gentle with your own mind, you change the collective mind of humanity. When you free yourself from the chains of pain, you loosen them for everyone connected to you. You are not healing alone. You are completing a story that began long before you were born, and in your stillness, the whole world breathes a little easier. 7. Awareness. Is freedom. The present moment is liberation. There is a moment quiet, unassuming, easily missed, that holds the power to free you from every chain. It is not hidden in the future you chase or buried in the past you replay. It lives here, now, in the present breath moving through your body. Awareness is not something you seek. It is what you already are, beneath the noise of thought and the weight of time. Most of us live like ghosts, drifting between yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's expectations. We mistake motion for living and distraction for peace. But the Buddha taught that liberation is found not in more doing, but in more being. When you anchor your attention in the present moment, when you truly see what is before you without labeling, comparing, or clinging, suffering begins to dissolve on its own. Awareness is not an escape from life. It is a return to it. It allows you to meet each experience with clarity rather than reaction. You start to notice the small miracles that have always been here, the rhythm of your breath, the sunlight across your skin, the sound of wind moving through leaves. These moments are not background noise. They are the living proof that peace was never lost, only overlooked. When awareness awakens, even pain transforms. You no longer drown in emotion. You witness it. You no longer become your thoughts. You observe them pass like clouds across a vast, clear sky. And the sky that is your true nature, open, infinite, untouched by the storms it holds. Practice this presence. Take one conscious breath. Feel the air enter, feel it leave. In that simple act, notice how the mind softens. Awareness does not require effort. It requires surrender, a gentle allowing of what is. As you live with awareness, the illusion of control begins to fade. You realize that peace isn't something to earn. It's the natural state beneath all striving. You stop asking life to be different and start meeting it as it is. This is the essence of liberation, freedom, not from the world, but within it. Awareness gives you choice. In each mindful breath, you can choose understanding over reaction, patience over panic, compassion over fear. And with every choice made in awareness, karma itself begins to dissolve. The cycles of suffering lose their momentum, for they depend on unconscious repetition to survive. The present moment is not a doorway you walk through once, it's the path itself. Each step taken in awareness is a step away from illusion and toward truth. So pause, listen, feel this breath unrepeatable, alive. Here, in this stillness, you are already free. Freedom is not waiting for you at the end of your journey. It has been walking beside you all along, disguised as this very moment. This now is your liberation. As this reflection comes to an end, take a slow, steady breath. Feel how each inhale gathers everything you've learned, and each exhale releases what no longer serves you. The 7 truths we've explored today are not distant philosophies, they are living practices, gentle reminders to carry through every moment of your life. Nothing happens by chance, every moment is a teacher in disguise. Karma is a teacher, not a judge. It guides you, never condemns you. Loss transforms, endings are simply beginnings rearranged. Emotions create what you nurture within, becomes your world. Forgiveness frees, release is the doorway to peace. Healing ripples outward, every act of self-kindness heals generations. And awareness liberates the present moment, is where freedom truly lives. You don't need to control destiny, you need only to awaken to it. Every breath, every meeting, every ending, all of it is life guiding you home. When you begin to trust this rhythm, life stops feeling like a battle and starts becoming a meditation. So as you leave this space, take these words with you. May you walk gently, see clearly, and trust that every step is unfolding with purpose. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who might need calm today. Leave a thought or reflection in the comments. Your insight could be the light that helps another soul find peace. And if you'd like to keep walking this quiet path of wisdom together, remember to subscribe and return here for more moments of stillness and truth. Until next time, breathe deeply, live gently, and remember, the universe is already on your side.